Following the release of U.S. Census income and poverty data, The Economist described the numbers as both grim and unsurprising. The wealth gap was widening, unemployment stagnated, and despite 2 million added jobs, several states struggled, especially in the South. Almost 38 million Americans, constituting 12% of the population, live below the poverty line. Pockets of affluence coexist with poverty, exemplifying the stark nationwide inequality. Native Americans, African Americans, and Hispanics bear the brunt, highlighting systemic disparities. State poverty variations stem from factors like geographic location, local economic policies, and resource access. The link between poverty and education levels is evident. Amidst America's overall affluence, a closer look reveals the 10 poorest states in 2023 after analyzing all 50. Let's delve into specifics and uncover 10 poorest states in 2023 after a comprehensive analysis of all 50. Michigan, surprisingly ranking as the 10th poorest state, boasts hardworking Michiganders, with the 18th lowest incomes in America at $63,202. Despite being decently employed, economic restructuring and job losses in manufacturing industries contribute to the state's poverty challenges. Cities like Detroit and Flint, often in the spotlight for negative reasons, underscore the impact of these struggles. However, Michigan's low cost of living ensures that even modest salaries stretch further. The state grapples with disparities in education and healthcare, factors influencing its economic landscape. Despite being home to some of the nation's nicest and most generous individuals, Michigan faces ongoing economic hardships. Nevada, the nation's 9th poorest state, exhibits economic disparities with pockets of wealth in cities like Las Vegas and Reno, alongside significant income inequality. While these urban areas thrive, the rest of the state faces widespread poverty and high underemployment. The economy, heavily reliant on tourism and hospitality, becomes vulnerable to economic fluctuations. With a poverty level of 13% and the country's highest unemployment rate at 7%, hard-working Nevadans struggle amid limited technological advancements and an inadequate education system. Despite these challenges, Nevada is emerging as a progressive state, offering opportunities for individual freedom, particularly evident in its vibrant cities like Las Vegas. Ranked as the 8th poorest state, South Carolina grapples with economic challenges, boasting a 15% poverty rate, and households earning less than $50,000 annually. A staggering 90% of working adults live paycheck to paycheck, exceeding the national average of 75%. The state's issues stem from complex factors, including struggling rural communities, heavily reliant on agriculture, symbolized by the term corridor of shame. Much like other impoverished southern states, historical factors, dating back to the Civil War, have contributed to a lag in infrastructure and technology investment, affecting education and the economy. The state's struggles are rooted in low wages, scarce job opportunities, and disparities in education and healthcare. In the Carolinas, the decline of textile jobs, primarily employing those without a college education, signals a need for a shift in workforce training. Advocates stress the urgency of preparing more engineers, mathematicians, and scientists to attract and retain high-tech jobs. The aim is to secure these opportunities locally, rather than losing them to other regions. Ranked at number 7, among the nation's poorest states, Kentucky faces economic challenges, with residents earning the 5th lowest salaries at $46,000 annually, leaving 1 in 5 Kentuckians in poverty. While the unemployment rate offers some hope, persistent issues include limited job opportunities, low educational attainment, and healthcare disparities. Addressing these challenges is vital for the well-being of Kentuckians and sustainable economic growth. The state also ranks low in the percent of the population aged 25 and above with a bachelor's degree. Disparities between urban prosperity, exemplified by the thriving bluegrass area, and rural struggles, marked by declining industries like coal mining and tobacco, contribute to the state's economic divide. Despite the hardships, opportunities exist for those willing to explore unconventional avenues, emphasizing resilience amid economic hardships. Ranked at number 6 among the poorest states in America is Arkansas, where financial struggles are pervasive with a 16% poverty rate, and families earning around $52,123 annually. Although smaller paychecks may stretch further in Arkansas, compared to other states, the challenges persist. Despite recent economic growth, the state grapples with issues such as limited access to quality education, healthcare, and job opportunities. Tackling these disparities is paramount for lifting Arkansas from its poverty struggles. Only 15.9% of the relevant population age group has attained a bachelor's degree, emphasizing the need for educational advancements. While Arkansas has witnessed economic improvement since the 1940s, when nearly half of its residents lived in poverty, ongoing efforts are crucial to sustaining progress and creating a more equitable future. In Alabama, where approximately 15% of the population grapples with poverty, families earn an annual household income of about $46,000. With 1 in 5 residents living below the poverty line, the state confronts alarming socioeconomic challenges. Birmingham, boasting a poverty rate of 28.3%, stands as the poorest city, underscoring the widespread disparity. Alabama's poverty landscape, often resembling third-world conditions in many counties, with rates soaring to 40%, reflects the urgency of addressing systemic issues. The state's low attainment of bachelor's degrees further compounds its economic challenges. Generational poverty takes a toll, evident in both economic struggles and health concerns, with the poorest counties coinciding with the highest obesity rates. Alabama's multifaceted poverty issues stem from limited economic opportunities, low wages, and educational disparities, prompting ongoing efforts to uplift the state's economic landscape and alleviate poverty. Alabama prioritizes budgetary constraints, leading to challenges in infrastructure, regulations, and social safety nets, highlighting the trade-offs in its fiscal approach. Despite initiatives, Alabama faces formidable challenges in achieving comprehensive socioeconomic progress. In New Mexico, where approximately 18% of residents grapple with poverty, and families earn about $46,000 annually, $10,000 less than the national average, economic challenges persist. With 1 in 3 children living in poverty, the state ranks last in the nation for family-friendly environments. Contributing factors include a sizable rural population, limited economic diversification, and low educational attainment levels. Although efforts are underway to address these issues and stimulate economic growth, poverty remains a formidable challenge. In the land of enchantment, Native American reservations and the presence of illegal immigrants contribute to elevated poverty rates. Ranking among the nation's most federally dependent states underscores New Mexico's financial struggle, relying on federal subsidies due to insufficient income tax revenue. Only 16% of the population holds a bachelor's degree. Despite pockets of success stories, such as Microsoft's founding in Albuquerque and Jeff Bezos's upbringing there, New Mexico faces worsening trends, with more young adults leaving than entering, signaling a potential increase in future reliance on federal assistance. In West Virginia, where the poverty rate hovers around 17%, and families earn a modest $44,000 annually, economic challenges persist. The state, historically reliant on coal mining, grapples with a declining industry, compounded by limited job opportunities, low wages, and a concerning opioid addiction epidemic. Huntington claims the title of the state's poorest city, with 18.6% living in poverty. West Virginia faces educational disparities, ranking as the least educated state, with only 14.2% of individuals aged 25 and above holding a bachelor's degree. Despite these hurdles, a lower unemployment rate and a cost of living advantage offer some relief. However, challenges persist, with Walmart as the state's largest employer, reflecting a struggling workforce. West Virginia's picturesque landscapes face hurdles in urban development, exacerbated by health issues like drug addiction. Migration trends reveal an outflow, with 60% more people leaving than arriving, and it stands as the only state where death rates surpass birth rates, underlining the severity of its demographic challenges. Embarking on our exploration through the southern landscapes, our next destination is Louisiana, a state entrenched in economic challenges. With over 18% of its residents living in poverty, and families earning approximately $46,000 annually, the road to success seems elusive for many. Louisiana faces significant hurdles, ranking last in the nation for gender income gap, and third worst for both food insecurity and education scores. This educational deficit poses a barrier to job growth, with only 16.8% of those aged 25 or above holding a bachelor's degree. The state's economy, heavily reliant on industries like energy, tourism, and agriculture, grapples with volatility, contributing to persistent poverty. Corporate subsidies further complicate matters, diverting taxpayer funds disproportionately. Lake Charles emerges as the poorest city, with 28.3% living below the poverty line. While Louisiana enjoys windfalls from natural resources like oil and gas, dependent on the energy sector, poses a risk with an uncertain future. The prevailing fatalistic sentiment and a lack of urgency for change perpetuate the cycle of poverty, underscoring the need for a shift in mindset and proactive measures. When you search for Mississippi on Google, the first suggestion that comes up is, why is Mississippi so poor? So, what's the reason behind Mississippi's economic challenges? The answer lies in stark statistics. Mississippi holds the dubious distinction of being the poorest state in America, boasting a staggering 20% poverty rate, translating to nearly 1 in 4 families earning less than $25,000 annually. Contributing to this economic plight are a 6.85% unemployment rate and a historical trend, where 1 in 4 Mississippians failed to complete high school until recently. The capital, Jackson, stands as one of the nation's poorest cities, with over 30% living in poverty. Educational challenges persist, with only 15.4% of individuals aged 25 or above holding a bachelor's degree. High incarceration rates and a legacy of racial segregation contribute to the generational challenge. Yet, Mississippi holds vast untapped potential, with opportunities abound. Being poor should not be a life sentence, and with a renewed focus on education and economic opportunities, a brighter future awaits the state.
Please like, comment, and share this video, and subscribe our channel. Press bell icon to see updates on our latest videos.